Good morning, bakers. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, the Soigné Baker. Today we're going to be making a cookie that goes by many names. Some call it a Russian tea cookie, some call it a Mexican wedding cookie, but for the sake of this video we're going to just simply call them Snowball cookies. It's a very simple 5-ingredient recipe. It takes no time at all, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. And so come along for the ride. It's nice and simple. We'll be done in no time. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to cream together 2 sticks of butter along with 1 cup of powdered sugar. Now, normally in a creaming process, you use regular granulated sugar, but this cookie is a little bit different. Which makes it even that much more spectacular. This is a cookie that I've always loved ever since I was a kid. I didn't exactly know what it was, or I definitely didn't know how to make it myself. But this I'm grateful now that I do know how. So along with that sugar and that butter, we're also going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract, but that wasn't quite enough vanilla for me, so I added a few drops more. And we're just going to cream this on, depending on your mixer, a low speed. I definitely want to start on a low speed so everything doesn't get all over the place. You don't want sugar and butter flying over the place. So after you cream together for about 2 to 3, maybe 5 minutes, the consistency should resemble this. Nice and smooth and creamy. And now we're going to add our flour in it. I don't know why I tried to dump it in there first. That was a bad idea. Let me get a spoon. We're going to add our flour in a little bit at a time because, like I said, as with the previous ingredients, we don't want them flying all over the place. So slowly as we add that in, this will take on a weird form. It's not like I said, it's not like any other cookie dough. It will look like small pebbles all together in a bowl, but it will come together. The consistency of it will come together. Just trust it. And unlike a lot of other things that you will bake, this doesn't have egg to emulsify everything and hold it all together. I'm sprinkling in some sea salt flakes there. And what I'm doing, it depends on what sea salt flakes you're using, but these that I use are fairly large, so I don't just sprinkle them in between my fingers. I also kind of crush them up a little bit so they'll be more receptive. And I will tell you, if you have if you use a sea salt, the breeniness of that sea salt adds a whole entirely different depth of flavor than if you had to just use a regular non-iodized salt. But that's completely up to you. You can also use regular non-iodized salt in this recipe, but that sea salt adds that breeniness that is just amazing, and it's a flavor that you wouldn't expect to go well in a cookie, but it really does. It really does. Trust me on that. Okay, so now our dough is starting to come together a little bit, and if your batter seems to be sticking into your whisk attachment, don't worry, just be patient with that. It'll all come together. Right now we're just trying to get all the dryness out of the bowl, get everything incorporated. I should have had a wet towel underneath this bowl so that bowl would stay still, but oh well. Alright, we've got enough of it incorporated where I can dump the rest of that in there and work with it like that. I can continue to work with it. My mixer will do the rest of the hard work for us. Now, as far as nuts go, you can add pecans, walnuts, or almonds, whatever you like. But I chose to add all 3 because I had all 3 in my pantry. So that's what I did. As long as it's about 3/4 of a cup to a cup, depending on how much you want in there. But I went with 3/4 of a cup. And that gave everything. I mean, I love the flavor of all of these. I think pecans are most popular for this recipe. But like I said, you can use what you like. You can even substitute pistachios if you want to, if that's your thing. That will change the flavor. It will take the flavor to another level. Okay, now you see the consistency of this. It looks incomplete and it looks erect, but it is ready to go, trust me. Now you're going to take a cup of nuts, and you're gonna just fold this batter together. And this is where the batter really starts to come together, when you fold in these nuts. And once you've done that, you've done all the hard work now. You're in the home stretch. All that's required now is to make sure these nuts are nicely incorporated. You don't want a big blob of them in one area and none in another. You want them nice and mixed up together, nice and evenly distributed. Okay, so now it's ready to go on the cookie sheet. And you can see you can space them not too far apart, but you just take them in your hand and you roll it into about whatever size you want, really. But some of them I chose to make a little bit smaller than others, and you put them on that pan. You pop it in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. But here's the thing, you can also let them stay in your fridge for, you can put them in the freezer for about 30 minutes or so. But this is a recipe that's not really necessary. But the key right here is, as soon as they come hot out of the oven, you apply this powdered sugar on there, and that will give it and when they cool off, if some of it has been absorbed, then you can add some more. You only want to bake these for about 9 to 12 minutes, depending on your oven. And I moved them to a cooling rack so they could cool off. And here's the finished product. Just like that, you've baked you some Russian tea cookies, or Snowball cookies as we call them. So thanks for watching, and keep baking.